pesto polenta recipe, we have Parmesan and Fontina cheese. So we'll grate about 1/4 of a cup of each. So we will be using 1.5 cups of low sodium stock and 1.5 cups of heavy cream and adding it to a medium saucepan. Once added, you can turn the heat up to about a medium. You want to bring the heat up slowly as to not scald the cream. You do not want it to burn. You want it to heat slowly and gently. The heavy cream adds a richness and a velvet texture, where the stock really adds another depth of flavor, salt, and together they create a wonderful, wonderful, rich, creamy polenta. Once the heavy cream and the chicken stock are up to temperature, you will be adding 5 tablespoons of polenta and 5 tablespoons of semolina flour. As you add this, you want to whisk and continually whisk. Don't step away, and definitely make sure it's constant. This will clump up and you will have a very clumpy mixture if you don't pay close attention to it. Make sure to keep an eye on the heat. You don't want it to really start boiling over, but you also want to make sure it's hot enough so that the contents begins to thicken. We have obtained the right texture. It's not real loose. It really has come together a lot more. And at this point, you can turn off the heat and add in the grated cheeses. The Fontina and the Parmesan can be added together. Make sure you do this off heat, as you don't want to continue to cook through and make anything that's too thick. So as you stir, because the contents are so hot, it will melt in. It becomes cheesy. This is exactly what you're looking for here. Now we'll add the Alessi Pesto. I have added about 2 tablespoons. I think that's about the right combination with this recipe. Depending on your personal preference, you may add to want a little more. You may like a little less, but this pesto melds extremely well with the cheesy polenta and really mixes together very well on your palate. Final step is a little fresh grated nutmeg. Fresh nutmeg is highly, highly recommended. The store-bought is never going to give you the same flavor, although in a pinch it will work. And you just grate it on a microplane, and a little bit goes a long way. As with anything you're cooking, you need to taste it and make sure that all of the flavors have developed that you want to be there. So I'm going to take a little taste of this before I season it. I'm going to hold back on adding any salt and pepper. The pesto does tend to have salt in it with the Parmesan cheese, so you don't want to season until you make sure it tastes exactly how you want it to. So the salt content is perfect here. And I will be adding just a little fresh ground black pepper. And you always want to be able to control the salt content. I highly recommend using unsalted butters, low sodium chicken stocks, and low sodium beef stocks, so that as you're building the flavors of your recipe, you're not over salting from the beginning. As I said, you can always add, but you can never take away. Okay, so that's done. Finished.
Visit us for this and more delicious recipes at www.alessifoods.com.